Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today, I want to talk to you about that feeling of you're wandering aimlessly in the desert and you're going through a period of time where you feel alone. That's actually a very exciting time because it means change is coming. Because when you feel like you are just surviving life, or you're wandering in the desert by yourself, get excited because good things are coming. And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit more. Until one day, and this is usually how it happens, you feel like you're in this deserted island kind of by yourself. And then one fine day, something comes up that sparks your interest. And as you're moving closer to it, you can feel, and that's when you really notice the changes that have been made. So when you're going through this very dry time, it's God working in you, and you're becoming more of the person that you were meant to be. So don't be disillusioned or hopeless when you're wandering through this dry period of time in your life. It's actually a very exciting time. You almost need to separate from things to become the real you, the person that you were meant to be. And then as things do pique your interest, when you're coming back around, you will start pressing closer and closer to those things in a way where you hadn't before. And you yourself, whether others around you notice it or not, you yourself will see, wow, I'm handling things differently, or I'm thinking about this differently. And then that brings me looping around to the people that are in your life, because after this long, dry period of wandering and becoming the real you, and it is in baby steps, and it does take a while. Even when you come back around and start getting back out into the world, you're still building, you're still growing. It's not over. There's always another rung on the ladder to strive for. But the point is, you've reached the beginning of being the real you, the beginning that brings you that confidence, that self-confidence. That's the true meaning of self-confidence. It brings you confidence within yourself, that you can depend more and more upon yourself. So as you start to get back out into the world, you will find that you can really see who's good for you and who's somewhat toxic. And they don't need to know how you're feeling about it, but you need to know who to draw closer to you, who to spend more time with, and who to have conversations with. Because it's important in life to be happy, to be healthy. You've got to be more positive, and it's very difficult to try to be positive on one end and yet have somebody pulling you down on the other end. For example, one day I was making a podcast, and I'm hoping that it comes across positively. I really tried to do that, and my phone rang, and I normally don't answer my phone when I'm recording, but I did. And it was somebody complaining to me about their neighbor. I said, I can't listen to this right now, because it was a total conflict of interest to what I am trying to achieve. I also am on a journey to be more and more positive. As I said, I don't think we ever stop learning. Stop climbing, stop being the better version of ourselves. But as you're going through this dry period and you're wandering, always keep God by your side, because God is the one that has the plans for your life. He's the one that's molding you to be the person you were meant to be. And personally, I think all of our goals should be the person that we were meant to be, not to stop and stagnate at some certain point because we don't reach our maximum capacity of who we are meant to be. And it's very exciting to find out who that person is. But one day, when you come to a certain point, you'll think, oh my gosh, I have changed. And the world seems to open up for you again, and you will notice, even though you've changed, you still get situations thrown at you. You still have to make decisions. But the difference now is you have the tools. You've learned to trust. You have the confidence in yourself and the knowing that you will make the right decisions. And then people will start coming around you also with all their old situations. For example, this just happened to me yesterday. I have one person who won't quit talking politics to me. I know there's a lot of people upset about politics right now. However, I'm trying to get healthy, so I need to kind of tune that out because we all need to do with certain things in our life. If we can't control it, if there's nothing we can do about it, it only brings frustration. And frustration brings depression. So I think to be the best version of yourself, you need to stay positive. And to stay positive is to stay away from things that do frustrate you or things that bring you down, basically. So I have asked this person, I would say probably 10 times over the last couple of years to quit talking politics to me. And she'll say, oh, just one more thing. And so yesterday, she started again. And I said, no. Well, then she spoke louder over me. And she proceeded to tell me what she thought I needed to hear, which, again, was something that, of course, would bother me. But by me being bothered isn't going to change anything about it. So now I have to make the decision. What kind of friend is that? And I don't take friendships lightly. I love people, and unless they really cross me, I generally keep them around, keep them in my life, because everybody does add something. We all have our good and bad. But when this person knows that I am trying to heal, and I've shared with you my medical stuff, when this person knows I'm trying to heal and finds it more important to disrespect my asking this person to not discuss certain things with me that she can't do anything about and I can't do anything about. So I thought, what category do I put this person in? I never make decisions on how I'm going to handle certain things because it's not a tick for tack kind of situation. It's my emotions generally tell me what to do. And it's like a hot stove. If every time you get near a hot stove and you touch it, you got burnt, pretty soon you would quit touching the stove. You kind of back off. And it's sad when people cause other people to want to back off because they keep repeating certain characters over and over again. So I just wanted to share with you that I'm not immune to it. Nobody is. We all have people that come into our life that we have to make decisions about. But I do realize that those that make me happy, that make me laugh, that are positive, is a solid foundation of the type of people I love to have in my life. So it's up to each one of us as individuals. But don't make a decision that's going to make you hurt or it's going to take too much stress. Kind of go with what comes naturally. I mean, as you grow and as you become the best version of yourself, you become more positive, more confident. And your body, your mind will tell you who you want to draw closer to you and who you want to keep at arm's length. And I think that's what the answer is knowing who to keep at arm's length. One thing to remember about that wandering in the desert by yourself, before you were in that situation, you had a variation of people in your life and you didn't know who was good for you and who wasn't. They were just there, they were just present. And I'm going by my own experiences, the people that I have had in my life, and I look back and I think, wow, I can't believe that I'd let them do the things that they did or say the things they said or whatever the situation is. But as you wander and as you become the person that you want to be, that God wants you to be, the person you were meant to be, and you walk with God and you learn to trust God and you let Him mold you to be that person that you were meant to be, then you will learn who you want in your life. Before you took this trip in the desert, this journey, this alone journey, and it's not fun. I realize it's not fun. But in a sense, I think it's necessary. And it's nothing that you do. It's not a literal trip to the desert. It's just how life unfolds. Sometimes when you are striving to be the person that you were meant to be, or you got your calling to be the person you were meant to be, it's time for you to step up in the form of that person. Then you do go through a period of time. It's a period of time of learning, of accepting, of discovering. But then when it's over and you start to come out of it, you see things a lot more clearly. You see who's toxic and who isn't. You see what is toxic and what isn't. And as I said before, it doesn't mean you don't love these people. It doesn't mean you have to get them out of your life. But what it means is if your journey is really to be the best version of yourself, to be the more positive, you will naturally draw in people that are like and kind. And I think it's kind of a magnet. You'll draw in people that are more positive, that are respectful of you, that appreciate you for who you are. And that's what it boils down to, is a lack of respect. Because if you don't respect yourself, and if you don't have that confidence, that well-being, that knowing who you are, people pick up on that, and they will treat you with that lack of respect. So when you take this journey, when you start to evolve to the person that you were meant to be, confidence, self-confidence comes with it. And then people no longer treat you that way, or they will try, but you will quickly discover how in your new way of life, your new confidence, you don't allow it. And it's not anything you say, really anything you do, but it's just not accepting the toxicity that some people put out there. When you're developing into the person that you're meant to be, when you become more positive, more confident, and you can make your decisions quicker, you will see who pulls you down and who doesn't. But what's even more interesting is when you make a decision, and life never changes in that way. We always have decisions to make. But with the new you, the new evolved you, hopefully your decisions are the better ones. But sometimes it's easy to fall back a little bit based on that decision. Things start coming up that remind you of the old you, and you quickly learn that, no, I don't want to be the old me. I have come, I have evolved, I've been on this journey, and I'm coming out on the other side. The sun is shining again. So you quickly learn that you don't want to make a decision that puts you back to your old self. And if you do accidentally do that, you can correct it by making the proper decision that you do need to make for whatever journey you're on, whatever situation arises. I believe when that positive journey starts, after you go through your dry period, and you can see changes in yourself, and then you start living your new life without telling anyone but you yourself know within yourself that you've made a change. From then on, you just keep building and building and building on it and be stronger in it. And yes, things do come up. Things start to pull you down, or they try to pull you down. but you quickly learn to step out of it a lot faster. You will find after you've gone through this dry period that has pretty much knocked you down, but you've come up twice as strong. And after you go through this journey, and while you're going through it, your body, your mind, your soul is building and building and building. But at the end of it, you will smile, and you will smile more. You'll realize that the people that are around you are there because you want them there. You will find your needs are different. You don't need people to be around you as much to distract you from thinking about things we've talked about, the frustration that the past brings up. So by being with people, they obviously distract you and you don't think about that. But as you learn not to think about that anyway, to stop your own mind from going there, you will find that you don't need to have people around you like you used to. You don't need that distraction. But the people that are around you are there because you want them there, because you love them, or because you're enjoying them. And at this point, we should be operating at maximum capacity, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. But we never stop. We keep building and building and building, and that's what's so exciting. I don't know where I'm at on the ladder, but I do believe so long as we're here, that there is always higher to climb. We may not know what to reach for at this point because it could be overwhelming. But if your goal is to always achieve, to go higher and higher, I believe the doors will open for you. I believe that should be all of our goals, is to strive to go higher and higher and higher. And if we feel like we're there at this moment, and we need to be there at this moment, not looking too far ahead. Again, it's back to living in the moment. So the person that we are at this moment, we need to embrace that time of being this particular person. And then maybe the next year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, we will advance to another step, another rung on the ladder. But regardless, stop and embrace each step of your journey. And know that if you feel alone, if you feel like you're going through something right now, if you feel like your life is dry right now, get excited, because it means you're up for a change. It means you're not content with the person you are right now. It means that you are becoming the person that you were meant to be. God bless you. I hope you have a great journey, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.